Hey, welcome once again for the differentiation of the last trigonometrical function, because we basically have 6 of them, and that is going to be cotx. Now, cotx has a very serious relationship with tan x, especially when we are differentiating it from first principles. You're going to realize that when we did tan x in the very first video, we applied compound angles at some point. The same thing is going to happen here, unlike the other trig functions where we applied the factor formula. So without wasting time, we shall still say let y equal to cot x can be written as cos x divided by sin x. That is going to be the best format we can use. Take a small change on y as we take a small change on x, but make sure you do the same for both the numerator and the denominator. So we have sin x plus delta x. Then from this level, we make delta y the subject, so that we have delta y as cos of x plus delta x divided by sine of x plus delta x also, minus minus y, which is cos x divided by sine x. Now when you look at this, the next step is going to simply be the LCM, which will be the product of the two denominators, and that will give us sine of x plus delta x, then sine of x. From this level, if you do the mathematics correctly, here we shall have cos of x plus delta x, then sine of x, minus, here we shall have sine of x plus delta x, then we shall also have cos of x here. I hope it can be seen. Good. Then when you look at the numerator, we have sine cos. So this takes us back to what you did in the compound angles, where we had sine of a minus b. Sine of a minus b, remember, it is the same as sine of a cos of b, then sine of b cos of a. So that is what I'm going to follow in this step to give us the next step. So it means shall have delta y equals to, now my x this time round is going to be the one that is containing sine here. So my a, if I compare with a minus b, sine of a minus b, my a will be x. So that I have a as x minus b, but remember your b is now going to be x plus delta x. So since I'm subtracting x plus delta x, x and delta x will both be affected by the minus sign. All this divided by sine of x plus delta x, then sine of x. From this level, you can see that x and x can cancel. So we have remained with delta y as sine of negative delta x. All this divided by sine of x plus delta x, then sine of x. Good. So we already have this. So it means now we are going to think about sine negative delta x, but this is as good as negative sine of delta x out of the denominator that we have. So that will mean that we shall have delta y is equals to minus sine delta x out of sine x plus delta x sine delta x. Now, from this level, we're now going to bring in the assumption for small angles. For small angles in radians, we expect sine of delta x to be approximately equal to delta x. So now it means delta y is going to be equals to negative delta x, all this divided by sine of x plus delta x, then sine of x. Now from this level, we're now going to divide through by delta x, so that we have delta y divided by delta x, this side, instead of dividing, I will multiply by the reciprocal, which is still okay. So delta x can cancel delta x, so that we have delta y out of delta x equals to -1 out of sine of x plus delta x, then sine of x. Now, from this level, we shall now go for the last assumption that as delta x tends to 0, comma, delta y out of delta x tends to dy dx, so that now dy dx becomes 1 but negative out of sine x, but remember, sine x by sine x is the same as sine squared x, and now it means we have -1 divided by sine squared x. But -1 out of sine squared x can be as good as negative cosec squared. So it means dy dx is now going to be negative cosec squared, and that is your derivative. Now from this level, what I only have for you is going to be the summary of all the 6 trigonometrical functions. So this is going to be our summary for the derivatives of all the 6 trigonometrical functions. Please make sure you make them part of you. Make sure they are at the fingertips, because as we proceed with the differentiation, we shall now keep applying this directly. So you have to know by your fingertips that the derivative of sine is cos, derivative of cos is negative sine, and many others. Thank you very much. See you again in the next video that will help us proceed with the differentiation. Bye-bye.